Okay, wow, I guess we're on a roll today. It is June 2nd, 2026, and welcome to another episode. And this is my testimony. My name is Helen. My testimony on how God is leading me to my kingdom husband and my kingdom marriage and the lessons I have learned and am learning along the way. I pray my testimony may encourage someone today who may be going through a similar process to learn from my lessons and not make the same mistakes I did. And so let's continue. In the last episode, which we call in this new series, Escape, and in the previous episode before the last one, I talked about how I was now in New York, about to cross over to Canada. It was my last night in New York, in the United States. And the last video, I spoke about how I just encountered a young lady right now at the park. Had a heart-to-heart conversation about self-worth, about being with people that we know inside that maybe they're not the one. And in the last video, this very last video, I spoke about my encounter with my Father in heaven as he spoke to me about my future husband and that he only wants the best for me, his daughter, and he only wants the best for you. And so I just felt like this is probably a good time before I continue to my crossing over into Canada. I don't know what I'm going to call that series or where the Holy Spirit is going to lead me. But right now, I just want to take a moment to speak about the signs and the red flags. Because as we were speaking with this young lady earlier, she said there are always signs. God shows her signs. But like many of us, like myself, we ignore the signs. We ignore the red flags. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about these red flags that God shows us. I want to establish something very clear right now. God is always speaking. God is always speaking to us. That's not a question. The question is, are we listening? The question is, are we paying attention? Because there are signs everywhere. Everywhere. God speaks through nature, through people, through things, through dreams. He created everything, and He uses everything to speak to us. So don't ignore those signs. That ad that comes across the bus and it resonates with you, it's a sign. That person that crosses you, that's wearing a t-shirt, that has a word that resonates with you, it's a sign. You're in the grocery store shopping and you hear a song on the PA, and the song is about basically your love story, it's a sign. You have dreams about your situation, it's a sign. You go on YouTube and all of a sudden there's a video that pops up that's not even in your feed, not even in your algorithm, that's a sign. God is always speaking, family. Always. Let's take time to listen. Let's take time to see. Let's take time to pay attention. So what were the red flags for me? As I look back, I see that, wow, God was just so merciful to me, so kind, so compassionate. He really rescued me from a potentially horrible situation that I could not see. And so, what did He see, the Lord, that I could not see? What were the red flags? I think I mentioned in another video, one of the red flags was I'm Christian, and the boyfriend I was with in the States was technically Christian but practiced in Buddhism. So one red flag was that I started going to the Buddhist temple with him. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? That was a red flag. But I brushed it off. I justified it. all this one God, right? And anyway, all religions really boil down to love, peace, same concept. Trying to convince myself that it was okay. Sign, red flag. And I also mentioned in another video how I was in bed, sleeping. Something woke me up. I was in bed with my boyfriend. And I was sleeping on the other side, so my back was towards him. I could feel he was sitting in bed, leaning towards the headboard. And he was speaking. He was speaking, but there's no one in the room. And I was like, what is going on? And he was speaking in another language. Not English, not French, not nothing. It was a foreign language. And it sounded demonic. That was a red flag. Who was he speaking to? What was he speaking to? Another red flag was me starting to hide my Jesus. And I mentioned this in another video. I used to watch a lot of sermons online. I wasn't going to church at that time. And I would get home before my boyfriend. And so I'd watch the sermons. And when I heard beep, beep, his car, I would start hiding my notes, run to the bedroom, hide my notes, hide my Bible, hiding my Jesus. I don't even know how I got there to that point. That was a red flag. That was a sign. And let me tell you another thing I didn't tell you. Now this one was crazy. So the routine every morning, because he went to work before I did. And so I'd get up with him. And as he was getting ready, I would get his breakfast ready as well as his lunch for work. It was a routine to say, kiss, say goodbye, see you later. And pretty much we really had no arguments. We had no arguments, no fighting, nothing. It was a pretty mature relationship. One day, Helen gets up, he gets up, I'm making his lunch. Usually there's good morning, there's kisses. Nothing. No good morning, no kisses. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm like, good morning. Nothing. Just looked at me, went about his business. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, what is this? And so I'm trying to think, did we have an argument? I'm like, we didn't have an argument. I'm trying to think of the conversation we had the night before. Nothing. I don't think I denied him sex. Nothing to cause him to not speak to me. And yet, he absolutely ignored me, got his food, and went to work. And I was like, ain't this a bleep? Like, what is this? It messed my mind, family. It messed my mind. Because I was thinking, what did I do? I'm trying to really recall, did we have an argument? He started getting confused. I was like, no, everything was really great night. Brother, what is going on? And so I'm here baffled, going to work and baffled, I cannot, what? And so I said, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to text him. We'll deal with this tonight when we get home. So I didn't text him, he didn't text me. I'm like, okay, we'll have a discussion. Ladies, you know how we love our discussions. I was like, I'll make a good dinner. Set the table nicely. And then we'll have a discussion about this silence that was not called for. And so, in the next video, I guess it's another video, I will continue with this silence moment. And I'm getting somewhere with this story, so bear with me. So catch me on the next video as I talk about the silence continued.